MCP and connectors, the plain version. It is Monday morning. The status report is due. The old routine with an AI chat is to open Slack, dive into Google Drive, check the project tracker, copy a little from here, a little from there, and write it up by hand. You spend 30 minutes just switching tabs and hunting down what actually happened last week across disconnected systems. Here is how to fix that. We're going to map out exactly what the Model Context Protocol is, 3 specific habits for using it, and how that Monday morning chore drops to a fraction of the time. The goal is simple. Stop copy-pasting your work into the chat and connect the chat directly to your work. When you eliminate the gap between the AI and your actual data, that multi-tab chore disappears entirely. This diagram illustrates the architecture of the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It is an open standard published by Anthropic that acts exactly like a USB-C port for artificial intelligence. It provides one standard socket, so every external tool fits identically. Inside Claude, you meet this standard as connectors. You open the connectors directory, pick the apps you use most, like Gmail or Notion, click Connect, and sign in once. The system inherits your exact enterprise access rights. Claude only reaches the specific files, emails, and channels you can already see yourself. For team and enterprise accounts, owners have explicit controls. They can set any connector to read-only, meaning Claude can search and summarize but cannot write back to the app, or require the system to ask permission before executing any action. Because this standardized architecture relies strictly on user-held permissions, it strips away the typical enterprise security anxieties. A single read-only toggle is usually all it takes to get an entire team comfortable bringing the tool online. Habit 1 is to connect once, right from the directory. Pick the single application you rely on most heavily to start. Then give it a real task. Try asking, summarize the renewal terms in the vendor contract in my drive. Claude opens the specific file you pointed at and hands back the exact terms. In one step, you move from providing background context manually to having an assistant that already knows the contents of your files. Habit 2, stop naming the application. Once you have multiple tools connected, you do not need to instruct the system to check Slack or open Drive. Just ask the question. Pull the latest numbers from the Q3 sheet and draft the update. Claude reaches for the correct connected application entirely on its own. If you end up wiring in a massive suite of tools, switch your tool access setting to On Demand. This keeps crowded, multi-app conversations functional by ensuring the AI only reaches into your data when specifically instructed. The more tools you wire together, the more the interface fades away. You stop managing individual software windows and focus completely on the actual problem. Habit 3 is to wire in anything that speaks MCP. The directory covers the most common apps, but power users can extend the system instantly. If a web application speaks the protocol but isn't listed, you just paste its URL to create a custom connector and authorize it. For tools running locally on your own machine, you take a desktop extension, which is just an MCP bundle, and drop it into the configuration menu. By removing the need for JSON and configuration files, a complex developer-only capability turns into a one-click install that works exactly like a browser extension. Any tool that speaks the protocol fits the socket. Let's bring this back to the Monday morning scenario. Pulling updates across Slack, Drive, and your project tracker used to mean copying and pasting for about 30 minutes. Connect those 3 applications once, and you can ask Claude a single question to compile the status. That 30-minute chore drops down to 3 minutes, and most of that time is spent simply reading the generated result. And that brings us to the end of our series. Projects hold the context, skills hold the workflow, Claude Code accesses local files, plugins wrap it for the team, design generates the asset, artifacts holds the answer, and Chrome does the clicking. MCP is the internal wiring that brings everything together. It feeds your proprietary data to the rest of the components, finally giving the ecosystem something real to work on. Connect once from the directory. Stop naming the app. Wire anything that speaks the standard. The friction of data access is gone, and Claude operates natively inside your real work.